Oh, it's been a minute. I thought that I would procrastinate a little bit longer against my determination today to finally at least start catching up on the Topless Topics inbox and OnlyFans messages and Patreon and stuff like that I've basically kind of been ignoring for the most part since my mom died in mid-February. I still, I'm on Twitter a lot and I reply to people on there and Instagram and stuff like that. Well, the comments, I don't look at the inbox on Instagram because there's just like a bunch of bullshit I feel like dealing with. But other than that, I just haven't really had it very high in my priorities. I did set Patreon month by month. You can set it to not charge people, and so I have been doing that because I'm still figuring out what I even can do with that. I kind of just want to shut the whole thing down, but Patreon makes it difficult to do that if you have existing subscribers. And even before my mom died, I was struggling to come up with new content to put on Patreon because like if I put the picture up on there for people to see, it's up there forever. And at least with OnlyFans, when I was doing the subscription model for OnlyFans, as soon as you stopped subscribing, you lost access to it. And I don't know. Anyway, it's just this whole thing, this whole time that I've been trying to make content creation not just a complete time and money sink, and try to at least recoup some of the money I spend on hosting and everything like that. Anyway, so I've been pausing charging on that or whatever, and just trying to be upfront with people, making a couple posts like, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I was already feeling overwhelmed just trying to watch the kids, and now my mom's dead and I'm trying to figure out all her finances and everything. So yeah, the kids, people who don't have young kids do not understand the constant amount of attention and, disaster avertment. That's not a word, but whatever. Averting disaster required. I don't know about other kids. I just know that my kids, who are almost 5 and almost 3, are little hellions. Like today, we literally just got them a modest, little play set in the backyard. It's like a swing and a slide. And we just had it set up less than a week ago. So you'd think oh, shiny new thing. But I have been having to bribe them to go outside. Oh, if you play out backyard for an hour, I'll give you candy. I can't get them to stay out there. And when they're in the house, it doesn't matter how many toys they have. They just want to mess with stuff like my computer and my camera and stuff anyway. But yeah, so I kicked them out today and I bribed them with candy to go outside. And 5 minutes into me trying to catch up on emails, like I said, my 5-year-old, almost 5-year-old Link runs in and goes, Mommy, Aiden went out front and he turned the hose on and he got the tadpoles and he moved them around, blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, Link likes to lie a lot and make up stories. So at first I thought he was lying, but then I said, is this real or are you lying? He said, no, I'm not lying. So I went out front to check, and sure enough, my 3-year-old was out front, had turned the hose on, was spraying everything, and I caught a bunch of tadpoles over a month ago after I fixed up my 150-gallon tank and watched all these tutorials on YouTube on how to make really cool tanks, and I did that. And I caught a bunch of tadpoles and expected them to kind of eat each other, which happened last year, but this year they didn't. They all got huge. And I had caught a bunch and let them back go in the stream, but I still had 20 left. So I set up another tank out front and I put the tadpoles in there with plants and stuff. And I'm I'll feed them, but if they become frogs and jump away, I won't be heartbroken. I'm more concerned with the salamanders I didn't realize I had even caught until they started growing up in the tank. Anyway, so point being that there's now a container out front that has tadpoles in it. And so yeah, my 3-year-old was out front spraying everything down with the hose, and he had caught some of the tadpoles and they were just sitting there on the ground. Now they were still alive, so I was able to put them back in the water. And honestly, I'm nervous because they're pretty big and it turns out that they might be bullfrogs. And if they are, I'm supposed to kill them because here in Portland, bullfrogs are an invasive species. They get really big. They eat all the food that the smaller native animals eat, and they often eat the smaller native frogs too. So yeah, if you find out it's a bullfrog, you're supposed to kill it, and I feel bad killing anything. But so anyway, I put the tadpoles back in, and I went back to the kids, and I said, and the way that the gate is, I have this metal pole caught in the top so that you have to remove the metal pole to open the gate. And I went back there and there was a chair pushed up to it, and Link claimed that Aiden was the one that did it, but even if Aiden was up on the chair, he wouldn't have been able to reach. And so I said, Link, you did it. And he, no, Aiden did it. I said, Link, you're lying. And he goes, I'm sorry, thereby proving that he did it. So again, you know, I was inside trying to work, and in the space of 5 minutes, Link pulled the thing out of the gate so that they could go around. Aiden turned the hose on and sprayed everything and was dumping tadpoles everywhere. And it's just like, you watch these like, you know, comedies and stuff where kids are breaking things and going crazy. That's how it actually is. Again, at least with my kids, I know I have some friends who have much more calm children who are happy to just like watch Minecraft videos all day. And while my kids do like to watch Minecraft videos and stuff like that, and I have to kind of cut it off if I want them to do anything besides just stare at the TV all day, they're like little volcanoes where they'll be like chill, 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 explode, doing all the things. Anyway, point being that, yeah, as much as I have inspiration and would like to do more things, the kids make it really hard. So after that happened, I put them down for their nap a little bit early, and that's the only way I'm filming this is because they're finally down for their nap, which is my very brief reprieve throughout the day. You know, Link is down for like maybe 45 minutes, and then Aiden usually sleeps about an hour and a half. And it's funny because my husband's like, oh, they're old enough, they don't have to do that. I mean, yes, they do. They need to take a nap so I could have at least 45 minutes a day to get things done. And then when my husband comes home from work, you know, I feel bad sticking him with putting the kids down because it's a whole process, and that happens at 8. So then, you know, any kind of activity I'm trying to do, I have to stop in the middle of it. Just kind of eyelash in my eye. So as always, the goal remains just hanging in there until Link starts school in August. And then by that time, hopefully my dad's share of my mom's retirement will be fixed up so we can pay for daycare at least a couple days a week. And then I can, you know, spend those days catching up on my inbox and editing videos that I've literally filmed like over a month ago and just haven't had time or energy, frankly, to edit and, you know, try to kickstart everything back in there. Because if you didn't hear, VidCon is happening this year, provided we don't have enough anti-maskers remaining virulent breeding grounds so that we get a version of the COVID virus where vaccines are useless. Assuming that doesn't happen,